What's good, YouTube? Today is the day that we are dealing with the biggest problem with my Chevy OBS. This problem could mess up my $2,000 transmission. So without further ado, let's get to it. This is the current state of the OBS right now after that trucks and coffee video. Since I did a manual swap to this truck, it had a 4L60 before and it stopped working, it was slipping. Drive shaft is a little too short and we didn't find that out until recently, checking an oil leak on the rear end, and we realized that there's not enough space for the drive shaft to travel. Since the drive shaft bolts right up to the transmission, it could push the transmission and it could mess up the bearing. Therefore, it could cost me $2,000 and I would need a new transmission. We actually already started working on it the other day when we got back home from the truck meet. A lot of OBS here today. Started to move the engine. Let me show y'all. We took off the engine mounts, the engine brackets, you feel what I'm saying, and we moved the engine a little bit forward. I'm not gonna lie, we had a little bit of a oopsie and this radiator hose came off and we made a mess on the floor, but you feel what I'm saying, I already cleaned it up and shit. I think that one was really hard to get to. My dad had to do that one. That one was hard. To work on cars, bro, is you need a good light, bro. If you don't have a good light, you're not able to do nothing, bro. All right, so here is the transmission. This is the 5-speed, and this is our drive shaft. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this space right here, but to be more so that this thing could travel up and down. We found out about this. We had two options. Option one was to take the drive shaft to get it cut and cut the drive shaft, which is a lot of money. Or two, to try and move the engine forward, so that's what we did. All these bolts right here is from when we put the new seats on there. And then my truck actually came with the electric cutouts because I want to make it louder. But I heard that it could get wet and it'll stop working, so I haven't gotten those. Now surprisingly, we didn't have an issue with the exhaust to move everything forward, so that's great already. Look, these are the seats that I changed out a couple months ago. That's why I had to put those washers down there and stuff. Right now I'm waiting on my dad. He took the transmission mount off and we have to weld something to it to be able to get that space that we want between the drive shaft and the transmission. So he took it to work to get it welded. I'm not sure when he's gonna bring it back, but we'll pick up the vlog when he gets that welded and when we could keep working on the OBS.
Okay, well, we put this little plate here to extend it, and we put some welding here, and now we're gonna drill some holes up here to have room to move the transmission forward, and that way it'll give us a little bit more clearance on the drive shaft, because after we lowered the truck, we lost the clearance that we needed for the drive shaft. Because they don't sell the transmission mount, we did kind of like a Mickey Mouse or a Mexican thing, you know, Mexican fix. And that way it'll be able to move the transmission forward like an inch, and we'll have that inch clearance. So whenever we put a load or something on the truck, yeah, the drive line won't be bumping into the transmission anymore. We're gonna move it forward. The good thing is that the motor mounts do have a way of moving this motor forward or backward, because the original motor mounts bolt onto the block, but these aftermarket ones that are used to put these
they have a sliding.
Yeah, they have a sliding position for you to move it forward or backward. So that's what saved us, or else we would have had to cut the drive shaft again. Okay, right there, that's good.
Oh, this is how you push it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna use the bar to push it forward.
The crowbar?
This one's gonna be right in between the two dots. And it does look like it's an inch from the starting of this edge and the starting of this edge to the center of the hole. It looks like it's crooked because the plate is crooked.
Yeah.
So, but the holes are
aligned.
Yeah, the holes are aligned. Right now I still have to push this thing forward more to be able to get to it, because it's not even straight. First, third, and fifth. See if it'll go into gear.
First, third, and fifth?
Yeah, the ones that are going to the front.
All right. It doesn't want to go into first.
It doesn't go into first?
Or third.
Because we moved this forward, so now it's rubbing here, it's hitting. But it's just a little bit, it's not like a lot.
So where do we cut at?
I don't know if we need to cut. Maybe if I can put this in here and bend the sheet metal a little bit forward.
So this is where the motor is gonna sit now.
Yeah, the motor's already in place.
Mounts are already done.
Yeah.
So now what? The exhaust or
Yeah, the exhaust.
or the shifter?
I'm not worried about the shifter.
Alright, the hanger holes, right?
Yeah, those. It has to be on the outside hole, all right?
I'm doing it with it.
Yeah. Here's the bolt. Here's the screw.
This thing's a little big to fit in between.
Okay, then take the extension off. Take the extension off and just leave the socket at the front part of the impact. Don't tighten it up too much with that thing, because you will strip it.
Alright, it's in.
All right, then let me lower the jacket.
Lift it up. Now let me switch it. You think that you just move the motor and that's it, but it has the exhaust, all the hoses and everything. There's a lot of things that you end up moving. It looks so funny now that it's down. I was used to seeing it up. Alright guys, so we put the truck back on the ground. We put the hose that fell off back on. It peed some antifreeze. The exhaust is back on. It's good. So now we just have to clear the shifter.
You want to show this big ass hole that we made?
There, no matter. They already saw that shit down there.
Well, yeah, now that we moved it forward, it's hitting here, so we're gonna have to trim a little bit here. Or bend it, whatever's easier. I can just bend this shit up.
So you're gonna make a hole right here?
Yeah, we're gonna make this one bigger so we can move it back a little bit. No, we have to move it this way because we want it to come down. We have to stretch it to the front and then this one to the back. This one to the back and this one to the front. That's what we have to do. We have to stretch this out this way. Like this. And then this one to the back a little bit.
That one's gonna make it bend without us bending.
It's gonna slide a little bit down and then we'll just tighten it up. And because the other part has grooves on here, it won't move. When we tighten it up, it won't slip.
We fixed it. Now it doesn't hit. Now even if you pull this out, which is the cup holder, it doesn't hit as much as it used to either. So we fixed it.
We got some new bands, yeah, yeah. We got some new bands, we got some new